Hello everybody and welcome back from a beautiful day here in Canada. Hope everybody's doing well. So I decided I was going to do a Valentine's nail design. So I've sped this up a little bit, but I used a piece of paper with duct tape on the back, drew a couple of hearts and then cut them out for this design. I've used those colors of nail polishes, including the two acrylic pink, or excuse me, it's not pink, it's red and it's white. So I already started with coloring my nails pink for the background, and I cut out those little hearts using the duct tape and the back of the nail form, except I am struggling so bad here trying to get it separated from the paper, which is why I had to speed it up just a little bit so that we weren't here all day watching me struggle with these tiny little hearts. So once I get the hearts off the backing, then I put the heart made out of duct tape on my nail and stick it just on the two, just on my ring finger and my middle finger, because those two are going to be the accent fingers. So, which is why you can't see me right now, because I am struggling either sticking it to myself or sticking it to the tweezers, and I can't get it off. So that's why I've had to speed this up a little bit, because I'm pretty sure nobody wanted to see me struggle with this. So I think I've already got one down, but it is quite difficult, and you never think of these when you're trying to film. So then next step would be, I've just got the red acrylic on the back of a form, and I'm dabbing it with the sponge. And unfortunately I'm kind of out of frame here, but I'm just dabbing around the sides of the heart that I put down to try to give it like a spray paint or like a splash effect. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention when I was filming this part of the video, and I'm not in frame. So I'm just going to try to explain the best as I can how I did this. So like I just said, like I just put down the red where you can see right there, and then once I finish doing the two nails in red, then I'll take the tweezers and take the red nail heart off of my nail and carry on with the others. Now, like I said, I was struggling something fierce with these homemade stickers, so I apologize for that. I didn't really think of that when I was filming. It seemed fantastic when I was practicing, but of course everything goes wrong when you're filming. But nevertheless, not worries, I got it accomplished. So once I get the smaller hearts, because I made 3 sizes of hearts, once I get the other smaller hearts peeled away from the duct tape, then I put those ones, and I use the white acrylic this time as opposed to the red. So it kind of gives it a little bit of a I know, like a wow effect, I think. I think the white really makes it pop out along with the red and the pink. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. But like I said, I am struggling behind the camera to try to get these little stickies off and put them properly on my nails. I'm just glad I was just doing one hand for this one, because I would have been struggling for hours here trying to get these papers off. But that's okay. I learned a lesson learned, you know. Every time you film, you always learn something new of what to do or what not to do. And this was my one not to do. But I am getting a little bit better with my editing, so I have to give myself that credit. So yeah, so I think I'm just right now, you can see my finger at the bottom of the screen there. I finally got the stickers off of the backing and got them on my nail. So I'm just grabbing the white acrylic now, putting it on my back of my my form, and dabbing it with the sponge, and I'm just kind of dabbing the outline of the heart that's already on the nail. You can have them however way you like them. This is just the way I decided to put them on my nail. Sometimes you may need to tweak it a little bit if you've got too much white or red here and there. You can always use, what I did was I used a little rubbing alcohol. That way nail polish remover or acetone didn't take away the color because I just used regular nail polish. I don't really have too many gel nail polishes, so I have to use nail polish, and I have to try to figure out how to best do it without getting rid of the design or the background altogether. So this was the best way to do it, and I found that rubbing alcohol worked fantastic, and it didn't even take away any of the pink that was underneath that I was trying to make see through. So that was great. So yeah, so now I'm just doing the second finger and dabbing that over top. And I did have to make a couple little tweaks because I got some white here and there that I didn't really appreciate. So not a worries, just once you got it off, you see where you've got it placed. Then I just take it with the brush, with my little rubbing alcohol, and get rid of some of the white that I don't want. And I think I used acrylic too, just because it's way easier to clean up as well, as opposed to regular nail polish. The acrylic seems to be, I don't know, I don't want to say flakier or thinner, but that's just the reason why I decided. Because if I had done it with the regular nail polish, I probably would have had to, start right back from the beginning again, because I would have gotten too much white in places that I didn't want. So that's why I used acrylic. And acrylic is fantastic for stuff like that. It's way easier to get off than regular nail polish. I just don't find that you can actually color or put a full color of acrylic on a nail, because it kind of goes runny and streaky. It's got those little weird lines in it. So I kind of use only the actual acrylic paint for just, top designs, for a little color here and there. Excuse me. So yeah, there I am in frame again. Yay, we're back in frame. So there you can see the white ones that I did up above, and now I'm just doing the little white ones. Now I didn't film the white ones because I struggled with the first two, so I just did those ones behind camera and put them on my nail, so you guys didn't have to watch me with my struggle. It's so real. And I apologize, I'm out of frame again. But then again, there we go. And once you get the three the way you like them, then I just take off the stickers and tweak the color here and there, however way I like. And surprising, I didn't damage the bottom coat with the tweezers, which I thought I would because they were so sharp, but it was fantastic. I was actually pleasantly surprised with how this turned out. Because I actually saw a video of Neo Nails, Kirsty Meakin. She kind of did a version of this design, and I thought it was really cool, and I wanted to try it too. As well as at the end, you'll see a little bit of a marble design, and I got that idea from Cute Polish. And this, I am like so shocked, because this actually came out the way I actually wanted it to this time, and very rarely does that ever happen with my designs. Something always happens, or I just don't like the way something looks, and I'm not happy with it. But this one actually turned out quite nice, and I'm actually quite happy with the way it turned out. So there you go. I've got the 3 hearts, 1 in red and 2 in white on those 2 nails. Turned out fantastic, in my opinion, I think. So now I'm just going to put a little bit of bling on my pinky finger and my index or pointer finger. And I'm just using a little bit of clear nail polish to make them stick down. Now, I don't really have any rhyme or reason for where the stones go. Now, these are Swarovski's rhinestones or crystals, or whatever you want to call them, in various sizes. So I just kind of wanted to bling it out a little bit, but there's no rhyme and reason for where to put them down. I'm just kind of trying to putting them down nice in a nice little pattern, and hopefully they stay. So I'm just doing my index finger now, and that one's a little bit different. I started with a bigger stone at the top. I'm kind of gonna go down the sides with smaller stones, and kind of like a fade, or like a Swarovski fade, if you want to call it that. So yeah, and I do struggle a little bit with the stones, because sometimes they don't pick up for me, or they fall or whatever, but I think that's the case with everybody, not just me. So, but with this wax pen that I have. I think it's fantastic. It picks up everything awesome, and I don't struggle with it regardless of, whether it's really huge or really tiny. Some of the little really tiny ones, they stick, so I can't say that, but usually, I don't really have much of an issue with it. And I think the stones actually turned out really great, which is another one of my firsts. I actually placed stones on my nails that I actually like this time. Because I don't really have creativity when it comes to placing or fitting the stones, so I never really know how they're going to look until after the fact. And then it's too late, they're already on there, so you can't really like pluck them off and, oh, I guess you could, but that would be kind of silly after all that effort you just put into it. At least keep it up for one day. So I'm just putting on the finishing touches of my index finger. And then I'm going to, they're so pretty, they're so sparkly. And then I'm going to carry on to my pinky finger. And I'm just going to put some clear polish on to have them stick, because they seem to work for my index finger, so why not for the pinky? Sometimes with the really big ones, I have to fasten them down with either nail glue or a little bit of clear acrylic, just so that I can give it some strength, so I don't have to worry about it popping off somewhere. But these ones were really small, so I didn't really have to worry about that. You can always put them on with glue. I just find sometimes with glue, you have to hold it for a little bit more, and when you hold it, I kind of stick myself to everything, so that usually doesn't always work for me. So I try to not use glue as much as possible, because I glue my fingers to each other and to everything else. So, but this time it worked out fantastic. So this one's just kind of going to be like on a side little view there. Just bling it out to one side with a couple of big ones, and kind of fade down to the smaller ones on the way down. And the smaller ones I have a little bit of a trouble trying to pick up, because you can't really see when I'm placing it down, and sometimes it doesn't stick and you gotta chase it, and oh, the worries. But who said beauty wasn't pain or discomfort or annoying sometimes? But that's what happens when you're trying to be beautiful, Excuse me. So once I get those ones placed down the way I like them, then that's the extent of the bling that I'm going to be doing on the nails. Just a couple little small ones, just to add some, I guess, flow to the side view of the nail. I was actually quite impressed with myself at how actually good I did with these nail designs. Even though I kind of used somebody else's ideas, I thank you for that, because it turned out fantastic. And I gave you credit, so my bad. I don't have creativity on my own. Sometimes when I try to do my own designs, it sounds fantastic in my head, but not so much when it's actually on the nails. So, and then I've decided to do my thumbnail in a marble design, for which I got from Cute Polish, and I can't remember the lovely lady's name, but she had this cute design, and I really, really wanted to try it. And marbling seems to be, or water marbling seems to be my nemesis. I cannot get this down for the life of me. But I was pleasantly surprised. For the very first time in my nail life, I actually got the swirl pattern down the way it's supposed to look. So, from the gods, I finally did it. So I had to share it with everybody, and I wanted to do that design for my thumbnail. Because, I mean, look at those rings. I mean, they are perfection, are they not? Every time I tried before, I don't know if it was the water or the nail polish itself or just my incompetence. I'm not sure, but I could not do it. I practiced over and over and over, and it still didn't work until I saw Cute Polish do this design. and I had to try it. And I even got the swirls down properly. So, oh my word, it turned out fantastic. And I'm actually really, really surprised how this actually turned out, because I actually was able to also draw in the pattern that I wanted to and not mess up the design. So that's a double ha from the nail polish gods. See, look at how sweet that is. I mean, I could stare at that all day. I'm so happy with myself. I'm patting myself on the back right now. So I try, like, once I get all the swirls in there, it's a little bit harder for me anyway to try to get them down right into the middle, because, sometimes my hand shakes, or the nail polish wants to come out sooner than it's supposed to. And this time it went fantastic. And look at that. Look at this wonderful design. How cute is that heart? So I'm just going to leave it in that cup and let it dry, or not dry, but let it sit there for a second. I grab a piece of Ziploc bag and I pick up the design just like so. And then I keep it on the bag until it dries. And then once it dries, you can come back. It's very easy. You can separate it from the Ziploc bag and then put it on your finger however way you like it. So that's what I've done here. So I've just peeled it right off the bag. Perfect design, just the way it showed in the cup, and I'm very happy. I'm patting myself on the back. So I'm just trying to see where I want the design to go and how to fit it onto my finger. Now it's not perfectly dry, and it's not perfectly wet either. It's kind of like that in between. So it was very easy to just peel it right off, and because if it was too dry, it would be really flaky and it might just flake off and chip and everything. So I'm just putting a little clear nail polish to stick it to the nail. And once I get it into the perfect position that I like it, then I use my little tool there to kind of just tuck into the sides and get it all to the shape of my nail. And I apologize, I'm not in frame, but that's kind of what I'm doing right now, is trying to just fit it onto my nail and to make sure it's all even and I've got like no lumps and bumps. Sometimes they're unavoidable, but I try to get as many lumps and bumps off the design as possible. And then I just take that little tool and I kind of tuck it into the sides and the back and everything so that the excess polish separates from the design. So you've got just this perfect design on your nail. Excuse me, I apologize. So that's just what I'm doing right here. And I'm even just looking at that, I'm so happy with how that turned out. I'm just in awe of it finally working for me. So I think that even though I had a couple of little malfunctions on this video, I think all in all the design turned out fantastic. I don't think it was the design that was the issue. I think it was my clumsiness and fumbling, which is what kind of slowed things down. But I did try to speed things up so you weren't bored watching me struggle. But there you go. You just got to take a couple little pieces from the sides and tweak it however way you like it. I guess you could always go over the sides with a brush dipped in acetone or whatever, but I always find that sometimes I may take off the polish in places that I don't want it to take the polish off. So I try not to go that route unless it's so super messy that I can't function without having to take it off the nail without acetone or nail polish. But there you go. It's all off the nail and it's super cute and just in the shape of my nail, and I think it turned out fantastic. I'm quite happy with that. So the next step would be just to add a little bit of top coat to all of the nails, and the design should be finished. So that's what I'm just going to do here. But I do not put the top coat on top of the stones because it kind of dulls down the shine of the stones. So I don't do that. I just put the polish on the nail itself and just go around the stones with the polish so that it doesn't dull down the sparkliness, because I love glitter and I love sparkles. So that would defeat the whole purpose if I was to put nail polish on top of my beautiful bling. Well, a couple more nails to go and this design is finished. It actually turned out really, really nice. And I was also trying to avoid doing any red nails this year because I find red, for me, it stains my nails something fierce. And I always got to, you know, put on a new set of nails, even though they're perfectly good. They're just stained with red, and that kind of vexes me. So I don't try to do red as often as possible, or black, because I find black does the same thing. But I think this design turned out fantastic. And I'm really, really, really pleased with myself. Got to brush up on my editing skills, but that's okay. That's where a little practice comes in. So I hope you all like this design. And I'm quite proud of it. So thank you all for watching. And don't forget, stay groovy. Bye for now.